Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your favorite English discussion program, The Panel. We are broadcasting live from TVT Studios here in Lomé. Thank you so much for joining us. At TICAD 9, the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, the President of the Council took the spotlight in a series of high-level engagements advocating for Africa's transformation through trade and investment. From his plenary address to exclusive audiences, his interventions underscored a bold vision for sustainable economic growth, strategic partnerships, and global collaboration. Kwesi Glay tells us more in the following reports.
Monsieur le Président de la Commission de l'Union africaine, Mesdames et Messieurs les chefs de délégation, Mesdames et Messieurs,
Chairperson of the African Union Commission, distinguished delegates, trade and investments drive Africa's growth, but to turn them into levers of sovereignty, we must rethink our models. Africa cannot remain at the margins of global value chains. We must also be at their core. From Togo's experience, I draw three lessons. Industrialization must be co-created and localized. Transforming our resources at home creates jobs, captures value, and strengthens resilience. Digital innovation must serve both productivity and inclusion, benefiting farmers, SMEs, logistics, and public services, not only big corporations. Sustainable finance is essential. Africa needs fairer financial rules that distinguish between wasteful debt, strategic investments supported by tools like green bonds and blended finance. With partners like Japan, we can build industries adapted to our realities, a secure and inclusive digital ecosystem, and fairer financing for our development. Trade and investment must not only generate growth, but also sovereignty and inclusion for all Africans. Thank you.
Mais des leviers de souveraineté et d'inclusion pour tous les Africains. Je vous remercie.
At TICAD 9 in Yokohama, the President of the Council of the Togolese Republic for Eswatini shared a bold vision for Africa's development. His message was clear: Africa must transform itself, not just its trade and investment models. He outlined three priorities: industrialization anchored in local realities and partnerships, with Togo developing industrial zones and regional value chains alongside strategic partners like Japan. Digital innovation as a driver of productivity and inclusion, with investments in data, AI, and sovereign infrastructure to build a secure and equitable African digital ecosystem. Financial reform to create fairer debt rule and wider access to resources for infrastructure, energy, and human capital. More than a national agenda, President of the Council for Eswatini defended a Pan-African vision, an Africa that harnesses its resources, sets its own terms, and positions itself as a reliable and ambitious partner on the global stage. Since 1993, TICAD has stood as a key platform for political dialogue and economic cooperation between Japan and Africa, mobilizing investments and technology for the continent's sustainable growth. While in Yokohama, Japan, for TICAD 9, the President of the Council of the Togolese Republic for Eswatini held diplomatic meetings with the President of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, and the President of Angola, Joao Lourenço. With President Ndayishimiye, discussions focused on peace and security in Central Africa and the Great Lakes region, as well as strengthening Togo-Burundi cooperation. The Burundian leader praised President of the Council for Esosmana Nyasingbe's role in regional mediation. In talks with Angola President Lorenzo, current AU chair, they addressed the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo crisis and broader continental security. Lorenzo reaffirmed support for the President of the Council for Esosmana Nyasingbe's AU mediator mandates, and both leaders pledged to deepen bilateral cooperation through strategic partnerships. It is worth recalling that shortly after his appointment as AU mediator, President of the Council for Esosmana Nyasingbe made his first diplomatic mission in Luanda for consultations on efforts to resolve the crisis in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. These meetings highlight Africa's joint efforts to promote peace, stability, and integration.
The president of the Council for Esosmana Nyasingbe met with the Director General of Gavi and his team to discuss immunization efforts in Togo. Recognized as a Gavi champion, the president of the Council for Esosmana Nyasingbe was thanked for his commitment to public health. The delegation congratulated Togo for achieving over 96% coverage for basic vaccines confirmed by an independent study. They also discussed the upcoming introduction of the malaria vaccine in September, which will make Togo the 21st African country to roll it out. Gavi reaffirmed its ongoing support, highlighting the president of the Council for Esosmana Nyasingbe's strong dedication to protecting the health of Togo's children.
The president of the Council for Esosmana Nyasingbe held a productive meeting with the CEO of Toyota. The delegation described the discussions as inspiring and reaffirmed their determination to expand investments and business in Togo across the automotive, energy, renewable, and assembly sectors. Concrete projects in the country were discussed, reflecting Toyota's commitment to long-term development in Togo.
You are still watching the panel live on the national television TVT here in Lomé. Tonight, we are talking about a tiny insect with a very big impact on our lives, the mosquito. Beyond the itching and discomfort, mosquitoes are carriers of very serious diseases. How can we protect ourselves and our families from these insects? Together, we explore practical solutions and clear up some common myths about mosquitoes. Stay with us. And to shed more light on the subject, we are joined by Dr. Alexis Agbojan, a seasoned general medical practitioner with years of experience in patient care and community health. Dr. Agbojan, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this show.
I hope the family, work, and everything is well.
Everybody's fine.
We thank God. Well, straight to our question, why are mosquitoes considered dangerous beyond just being a nuisance?
Mosquitoes are not our friends. They are so. I say sometimes that they are so mean to us. They are dangerous just because they transmit diseases. Yeah, especially malaria, and also recently in Togo we have dengue and chikungunya in West Africa generally. Wow. So they are not so good to us. They are bad friends.
Well, apart from malaria and the ones that you just mentioned, are there some other common mosquito-borne diseases in our country?
Yeah, like I said, yes, the big one that I said right now is malaria. But we can know it again that mosquitoes can spread other diseases such as dengue, chikungunya, yellow fever occasionally in our country. So these are some of the diseases that mosquitoes can transmit.
Apart from biting, are there other ways they can transmit their diseases?
Mosquitoes always spread, or maybe spread exclusively by biting. biting. They don't transmit by touch, don't transmit by air, nor by food. They transmit only by biting.
By biting. And who are the most vulnerable people when it comes to the diseases they transmit?
Okay. When it's for example, malaria case, we have four types of groups who can be or which can be vulnerable to it. For instance, we have the first group, children under 5. Children under 5 so be vulnerable to AIDS. Children under 5 has a child under 5 years has an immunity, a less immunity to fight infection, to fight these diseases. Also, we have pregnant women. Pregnant women, if there is malaria, if they're suffering from malaria, for instance, the malaria can cause anemia, low birth weight babies, and miscarriage. That can happen if they are suffering from malaria. We also have HIV positive person. If they are having or they are suffering from malaria can cause anemia, severe anemia, and they will have less ability to fight infection. If it's about we are talking about HIV person, and also we can include so can in fourth group down in fifth one, we can talk about those traveler who come through a high transmission zone or area. When, for instance, we think someone coming from overseas or coming from abroad, come to our country in Togo right now. Here there is malaria. Maybe the place where he come from there is no malaria. So you and me, we already have some what we call immunity, because you are used to have it. So we have it. Sometimes you suffer from malaria for a long time. So we acquire some immunity. So those who come from an area where there is not malaria, no mosquitoes, for instance, when they come to our country, for instance, they will develop the severe form of malaria.
Wow.
Yeah, so this type of groups that I can just quote.
Very interesting. Once infected, what are the main symptoms to look out for?
Yeah, like everybody knows, it's started with fever, chills, body aches. We have pain in your joint. Some people can vomit, nausea, can have nausea, and so on and so. But we have to pay attention to some warning signs that may be considered as emergencies, such as persistent vomiting, or some can also have some dark colored urine. The color of your urine will turn to dark, to turn to black. So that may be some warning sign that may lead us quickly to an emergency services.
Well, how does early detection and treatment actually help?
Okay, like we used to say it, the earlier we diagnose it, the better the treatment.
Definitely.
That means that if the fever started right now, the best things to do is to take the appropriate anti-malaria. I'm talking about some pills, some drugs that we prescribe. That suppose that you come first at hospital and you check your blood, and the doctor will confirm that it is malaria. You are suffering from malaria, and quickly you will prescribe you a tablet that can help you to overcome this disease. But if you don't treat it on the spot and you let it go on, malaria will go. You have the severe form. You will have the severe form that may lead you to develop to have some complication that can only lead you to death. That's possible. Malaria killed today. So if you stand up early to treat it, that will help us very much.
Let's turn to prevention now. What are some of the daily steps that families can take to protect themselves?
Okay, the simple one is to sleep under mosquito nets. Okay, these are available in everywhere. We share it in our country. Our government share it every year or every 3 or every 5 years. We have it, and everybody has it in his home, so we can use it. We sleep under mosquito nets. Also, we have some standing water. If you gather some water, we have some standing water in our tire, in our buckets, some around the house. We do not use it. These sites can breed some mosquitoes, and they will turn against us. They will give us malaria further. So the best thing is to destroy them, to empty this standing water. These are the type of things who can just represent some factors that can lead us to have malaria.
Well, There is a popular belief that mosquitoes are really attracted to certain foods or certain kind of blood types. Is this true?
There are some the studies that don't right now confirm it.
Okay.
When you take, for instance, you should, things who can or which can attract it, we can attract, for instance, what they call mosquitoes, which is natural. What we know about it is our natural smell, skin smell. Our natural skin smell can attract mosquitoes. Okay, this is confirmed. It is sure. Now, our breath, the air we breathe out, the CO2, can also attract them. Okay,
Interesting.
a pregnant woman
Exactly.
can attract them.
How?
Yeah, how? Just because you are pregnant. And mosquitoes also know that you are pregnant. That study shows it. That is short. So, but when you talk about the type of the blood type, O, for instance, studies this type of group blood type is not also clear. That type O, it's not so clear. People used to say it, but it is not so clear in studies. So we just what I can say to the whole population is that the best form or the best thing that we can do to prevent malaria is to sleep under
The
mosquito net.
Well, apart
This is the
from the
best one.
mosquito nets, also there are repellents and mosquito coils on the market. How safe are those ones too?
Yes, of course, we have other means, other ways to protect ourselves against malaria, like repellent that you are talking about, which we're talking about. And but what we used to say that in our area, what our experience shows, many experience shows that the best things to do. There is no comparison when it's up to compare mosquito nets and repellent or all those ways to protect ourselves against malaria. So the best things is to remain using our mosquito nets.
nets.
This is the best one.
That is it. Well, tell us a little bit about how to take care of our mosquito nets. Should we
Yeah.
wash them?
Rarely. Rarely,
Oh my God.
rarely. We will, not every week, not weekly, maybe 3 months, but rarely because they have we put inside. We used to say that they get what during the manufacturing time. What they do is that they put some insecticide in it. And that's why we used to call them long-lasting treated
mosquito
mosquito
nets.
nets. Okay, so there is some medicine inside the nets. Don't we should not wash it every time. So maybe one time within 2 months, one time within 3 months. Why not?
And also when it's torn, is it okay to sew them or we should change it?
You can literally, you can just maybe try to sew them, or if there is, we can buy it. If you think that your mosquito nest is torn and you cannot, there is no possibility to be saved. The best way to do things is to go to the pharmacy where you can find it. You can buy it at a place.
Well, let's still talk about traditional remedies. Do they actually work against mosquitoes or they are unsafe?
Crucial question. Yeah, sometimes we are African and we believe our medicines, and
Yes.
our hope is that one day that we can be able to make it through our own effort, our own medicine that we usually have in around us. But right now, yes, we can use it. Sometimes when you use our traditional remedies, that can help reducing a little bit malaria. But this method or this kind of treatment are not reliable. And I will continue on saying that the best things is to seek for an anti-malaria treatment which is known today that we can prescribe you to at the hospital.
Let's also talk about vaccines.
Yeah, okay.
Tell us more about malaria vaccines we have in our country.
Yeah, recently in our country, the government introduced a new treatment, a new vaccine against malaria for children and children up to since I think 5 months already. You can be a candidate for that vaccine. So for children, for this moment, children have what we call these vaccines.
Okay.
So we had started this year in our country. Other countries had already started, like Burkina Faso, Ghana, and so on. So we hadn't started in this years in our country.
Okay, well, looking at the bigger picture, do mosquitoes have any importance in the ecosystem?
They are what we call it. They are part of our ecosystem. We know it. But the bad side of the situation is that the look are some the biters okay every time, and then they are responsible of malaria and death. So we cannot say that because they are part of this ecosystem that we are not going to destroy them. Okay, if we do not destroy them, there will not be any balance, because we want a balance. If they destroy us and they kill us, there will not be any balance. That we will kill them a little bit so that there is balance. That's why there are many medicine against them.
Well, Doc, let's talk about our environment also. How can we as a community altogether help, not just by using the mosquito nets in our homes, our communities? How can we come together to prevent this diseases, mosquitoes in general, from our communities?
Okay, I believe, I think that the best things to do is that if you are well organized, we can organize, for instance, a mass cleanup in our environment. Maybe that can be weekly or monthly. But mass cleanup, we invite everybody in the compound, in the area, and we clean all the compound. And that will help us to prevent malaria in our community. Also, like I said it before, there are some standing water that we have around us. Through this mass cleanup, we can destroy them. We can empty this kind of water that we can have on some bucket somewhere, and that will help us to reduce the breeding side of mosquitoes.
Right. Finally, if you have 3 quick tips for every household, what should they remember?
Sleep under mosquito nets. Early treatment is the best, and mass cleanup.
Fantastic.
I hope I get it.
Well, to disturb you again, Doc, do you have any last words for our cherished viewers out there?
What I can say is that malaria is preventable and treatable. So the best way to prevent malaria is to sleep under mosquito nets. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc. It has been such an honor having you here today on the show, Dr.
You're welcome.
Well, cherished viewers, thank you so much for following this important discussion on protecting ourselves from mosquitoes. We've learned that prevention starts at home by keeping our environment clean, using treated mosquito nets, and taking collective action in our neighborhood to keep our cities, our communities clean. Remember that protecting yourself means protecting the family and protecting the nation at large. So stay safe, stay safe, stay safe. Until next time, see you. Goodbye.